This is Spill the Sauce podcast with
Sam Hastings with Sam Sauce.
and Radhi from Fire.
Let's keep spilling that good stuff. Never mind.
You like my bun?
Yeah, I like your little kung fu bun you got going on there. It's quite a nice little floopty boop.
Welcome back, everybody, to Spill the Sauce podcast. I'm Radhi Fernandez from Fire, and I'm here with my buddy and friend and co-host and soon-to-be daddy.
Oh boy, Sam Sauce, Sam Hastings with Sam Sauce, soon to be Dad Sauce. I think I officially lost my first gray beard hair the other day.
Ooh.
I was like, I showed it to Hannah, and she's like, "You sure that's not like a blonde hair?" I'm like, "I don't think I got blonde hairs, but maybe it was a good sign if I lose a gray beard hair." She's like, "No, I think they multiply that way."
Yeah, no, when you lose one, 45 others just show up.
Oh boy, well, you got something to look forward to in another 5 years or so, because you're almost 30.
Yeah, I'm turning 30 in April this year. You know what's funny?
Ooh.
Speaking of white hairs, I realized the other day that this is gonna be like a downfall from here. I was shaving my beard, right? And yeah, I have like gray hairs in my beard and mustache, but I was like trimming and like grooming myself and stuff. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I see this sort of like white hair poking out of my nose. And I was like, what is that?
In your nose?
In my nose. And I was like, what is this? Like, I'm like cleaning my nose, right? And I'm like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And I'm like, like, oh, blowing my nose and stuff. And I'm like, it's not going away. And I'm like, wait, hold up. And I was like, it's a hair. I was like, I pulled it out and I'm like, it's a white entire hair from root to tip. It was a white hair in my nose. And I was like, what the fuck?
This might be too much information, but man, I am a beast about just yanking nose hairs out with my fingers. I never a white hair though, but I mean, it's the most annoying thing in the world. I know also it's a new year, so people are just like, what's going on? We're thinking of the end, because I think the next step is you get hairs in your ears, and I'm not looking forward to that.
No, my grandpa, like, I'm always like, oh man, I wish like this guy would have a trimmer, like, because Jesus Christ. I mean, like, maybe at some point, all old people just like kind of like stab care. They don't care anymore. You're like 70, you've seen it all. You have a mountain of hair coming out of your ears, and you're like, boy, I don't give a fuck. I've seen like 4 world wars. Shut up,
Dude. If you got to go to a gym in the early morning, and yeah, you'll be reassured that these old dudes, they don't give a fuck.
Dude,
Let it all hang out.
Oh my god, yeah, I don't miss that. I remember like when I used to work at J&J, that was even more uncomfortable because it was like a corporate environment. We had a corporate gym, and the gym inside of work, and then like you'd be there working out at some point, and Jim from accounting would come in ball swinging and be like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Dude, can we have?"
He listens to this podcast, right?
Shout out to Jim from accounting.
But yeah, dude, so I mean, like, it's New Year. I just gotta ask you, do you miss anything that you did, previously of the Fire Co? I mean, is there any aspect of your daily routine, maybe like the certainty of the known, that you miss? I mean, from going full self-employed, buddy.
Wow, that's shocking.
Right?
Do I miss it? What do
I mean, is there any aspect you kind of miss?
I don't know.
I heard his head.
Of like the corporate world, of like something
anything that you didn't have to be completely self-dependent on, like it's all you, baby. So it could be corporate world, regular dickhead jobs, working for anyone else besides reporting to no one.
I miss nothing. I feel like what I was missing was this new lifestyle. What I was missing was like being able to use it whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it, and being able to like make my own decisions. I feel like I do not miss the lack of freedom and the lack of just like free will and the lack of just everything but doing something for somebody else. I feel like I couldn't go back to like having a regular job, for example.
It'd be It'd be pretty rough. I think we'd be bumping heads a little bit. We
Yeah, no, the first thing would probably be like the scheduling. Like right now, I make my days however I need to make them because of like kids and stuff, and like you'll learn how complicated that gets. But imagining having to be somewhere like, oh no, 9 to 5, readjust your whole life. No, I don't
I
want to
mean,
do
I guess the only thing I don't want to say I miss about it, but it was really comforting knowing every day I knew what I had to do. And what I had to do is wake up, don't eat, just shower, go to a restaurant, and be there for 18 hours or 16 hours. And it was like a very comforting feeling knowing like there I had a great deal of responsibilities in the kitchen that I was extremely confident on. But outside of that, that was it. That was my responsibility is to clock in, kick ass, and then leave, and then hopefully eat something, sleep at some point, rinse and repeat. And it was just like the most structured chaos. I mean, it was structured to the degree where this is when you went in. You don't know when the fuck you're gonna leave, but you're gonna be there all day. So what are your other responsibilities? Nothing. I mean, but then again, I mean, there's huge pros and cons with that too. But I guess it's like that comfortability of I know what I need to do today every day, rather than now where you're like, oh, respond to emails. Do I need to order new product? Do I need to order samples for some new things I'm testing? How do I do that? Do I reach out to packaging, labels, artwork? Oh, where's my artwork? Oh shit, shipping. When's it gonna get here? I don't know. Product release. Ah!
That's crazy because for me, like that's the one thing that I enjoy the most. I hated the monotony of like knowing what I was going to do. I feel like knowing and having like all of my work laid out for me was too boring. I
Well, I
don't.
guess yeah, for like an
Yeah.
office setting like you, I totally get. I want to once again not stick up for my past, but it was like comforting knowing I knew what I needed to do is I needed to go to work at this time, but every day was different, which was very exciting, but it was still in a structured setting because you had one common goal, put asses in seats and make great food and run a staff, do all that shit. But it did seem like, I mean, anyone else would be like, oh my god, that's an immense amount of workload. It seemed like it there, but this seems different. It's
Yeah.
more of time management, dependability, accountability. I don't want to have someone saying, hey, dickhead, you're not doing enough, get back to work, or you're fucking off too much, or you know what I mean. I feel like I don't want to get too deep, but every once in a while, Mr. Sammy has to reassess himself. I like evaluate myself as much as I have evaluated past employees. It's like I go through like evaluations. It's like, all right, what's going on? Am I staying on track? Do I need a little kick in the ass? Am I drinking too much coffee? Am I not taking care of myself enough? Not enough sleep? Too much caffeine? Too much fucking around? Am I doing social media too much? Or, shit like that. It's like I evaluate myself often, but not often enough. So 2024, I need to do like a monthly evaluations of myself to keep my track in order.
I have that on my calendar actually. So the last Friday of every month, I have a self assessment or like meeting, I guess, if you want. Because in the beginning of the month, I write all of my goals and things that I want to accomplish and things that I want to do, and then by the end of the month, I'll check if I managed to do all of the things that I did say that I was going to do. Um,
Can
so
we
making
do
this,
that together?
yeah, I'm down. Hey, do you want to do that? I'll hold you accountable. Tell me what you're gonna do, and then I'll meet with you and be like, did you do this? You do this, and you're like, no,
Would
and then
that
you'll
be
feel bad.
helpful, or would it just kind of like take away from like the importance of being self motivated?
I think that it'll do a little bit of both because I feel like again, like we as being self-employed people and like working for ourselves and mostly by ourselves, really easy for you to understand that you have to do a lot of things. Be like, okay, like I have to do this, I want to do this and this and this, blah blah blah. But then kind of it's very hard. It's very easy to fall into like I can do it later because no one's waiting for it. I can today just watch TV because I don't feel like it. I'm gonna just do this other thing that I've been wanting to do and not do that instead. But you kind of just have you kind of just have
You feel me? You're right in there, and I'm so sorry you're in this position with me because it's insane, but I'm so happy you're in this position with
no,
me.
I literally carry a little journal with me, like a little notebook in my backpack at all times, and I love the physical pen and paper because if I'm taking notes on my phone and I got a notification, I'll go to look at that and then just wander for an hour and be like, what was I doing? So I do have also an offline iPad that I carry with me with some other like apps and stuff that I use for like note taking and whatnot. And
Dude, that sounds fucking amazing. I
yeah,
need
it's less distracting. It's a lot less distracting than my phone or my computer because it's never connected to the internet. I only use it for with the internet for like markets and stuff. I'm not like charge whatever. But this, I'm telling you, and like you don't have to be over ambitious and expect so much of yourself. Even if you're like the most willing and like the most dedicated and the most like just straight up person, never give yourself, if you're going to start giving yourself like tasks and like making lists, don't make a list of 10 things. Make a list with three of
Mhm.
the easiest ones, and you check them off, and you get this like release of dopamine. It's like your brain has an orgasm, and you're like, oh my god, yeah. And then you're like, tomorrow I want to do 5 things, and your brain comes even harder. And then you do like 10 things, and you keep your brain going, and it's like, oh my god, I have to do this
And then
list.
you're just going through Kleenex like nothing.
Yeah, like
No, I appreciate that, dude. This could be a fun little episode to kind of keep people motivated on track. I know with accountability, it's really cool when I see tandem groups of people or like groups of 2, 3, 5, like a team working together for a common goal, especially in the hot sauce space. I'm very envious of it, thinking just like, I mean, I know if I had someone as motivated as me, with me, ready to do as much as I would do, holy shit, thinking things would double would be like an understatement. They would like, tenfold. It would be amazing how much you could accomplish. But yeah, rolling solo is a little hard, but dude, shout out to like, like the stanky dudes fucking down to ferment. It seems like those guys got a good gruesome twosome, where they're both kind of like keeping each other in check. And I feel like that would be a really cool thing. But yeah, great ideas. Just notepad, get off the fucking cell phone, dude. I got a new cell phone. I've been bitching
what you
about my old one for years. It's a Google Pixel 8. I've had a 5 for like 3 fucking years and or more probably. And then I've been like wanting to replace it for the last 2. And everyone knows going to the fucking phone store, whatever your carrier is like worse than the DMV. It's one of the most stressful experience. So Roddy, I held this off for 2 fucking years.
oh
And then
man.
Hannah's like, I'm gonna need a new phone too. I'm like, all right. But anyways, it's awesome. But you fuck with it too much, man. And it's like, God, I need sucks.
Damn, I'm gonna say this publicly, just for the world to hear and see. I think you're just a little too old. You get like you
Oh
get
no,
too
it's
into
just
the
no, like
technology,
I
man. It's
just
just like, oh, this new thing. Oh,
just go. Oh no, the phone's great. Everything's awesome. But I just mean the aspect of going to get a new phone, at least around here, the
oh no,
incompetence,
dude,
the
I agree with that. Like having to go buy a phone if you're buying it from like directly the carrier is gonna
yeah.
take a couple of hours. It's gonna be a process. It's gonna be like a whole thing. But I mean, like I think you're complaining about like just like the phone itself, like
Oh
being
no, it's banging, dude. That's why I like the
okay.
Pixels a
Oh,
lot. Big shout out to them because they're so simple. Samsungs were amazing, but they're too much. Like Samsungs, those are for fucking people, quote me, that are like they want a computer in their fucking hand with all the capabilities of everything. But if you don't know how to run the functions, you're never gonna utilize like 20 fucking percent of the power of like these new fucking Samsung phones. They're fucked. But yeah, like the Pixels are very similar, possibly with like the prompts of like an iPhone, like very simple, very straightforward. But the camera's bitch and everything on it's awesome. But yeah, dude, you get sucked into that son of a bitch. I think like a little handy dandy notepad, it doesn't hurt or it doesn't help that my handwriting is fucking atrocious. But but I think the physical act of writing things down, even if I don't necessarily go back and can reread it, it's kitchen hand, I think would be still be helpful.
You know, it also helps that like in the morning or like at night or whenever you want to do this or whatever time you schedule it for, you can create a little like routine and it's like, okay, give yourself a timer. You have 10 minutes. 10 minutes is such a long time if you watch 10 minutes, but it's like such a short amount of time if you're doing something. So you make a 10-minute like appointment in your calendar or like a reminder on your phone every day that at this hour, you're going to put your phone away for 10 minutes or put it down until your timer goes off and you're going to just look at your notebook.
It's
And
so fucking easy, and people, it's funny how some people are just like, sorry to cut you off about oh, I just don't have time to do these little mundane tasks, but for how quickly time flies, when even if you're like on Instagram, social media, trying to do like a post for a business, you're like, cool, I do a post, I do a reel. You know, us, we're kind of douchebags. We don't follow the algorithm, so we could spend, a lot of time making cool content and get like 100 views, and we're like, woo! But that could be like a 3 hour fucking process if you get in the goddamn loop, man.
mhm. So again, I time myself. So in like some days, I do know that I have a bunch of things to do, but I want to get the okay. I still want to scroll through Instagram. I still want to do this. I set timing. I set timers. I put 10 minutes on a timer, an alarm, and just be like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then just wait for the timer. And once the alarm goes off, I have forced myself to stop. Like, okay, I have to do this other thing, and it's cool because again, you might say, "Oh, I don't have time to do this thing. I'm gonna take like it's too long. I don't have this other small bit of time to do this other thing in the middle." But when you, for example, if you don't set a timer, you can spend 2 to 3 hours on Instagram without realizing. But I'll set a 10-minute timer and do a bunch on Instagram and be like, oh shit, 10 minutes went by. Like, let me do something else. And now I'm going to do work. Let me respond emails for the next 30 minutes. So I'll put a timer for that. And then that goes off. And I'm like, oh, okay, like that much time happened. I got so much done. And then it also allows you to there's more dopamine in there. I'm just trying to be like happier with completing tasks. Going back to like writing things. If you haven't written down and you like go start with a timer, oh, this one's complete, checked off. This one's complete, checked off. This one's complete, checked off. You do realize how much more productive your day can be. And then it can be 10 very small tasks. I'm cleaning my desk. I'm responding to emails. Today, I'm shipping these two things out. I'm ordering one thing. I'm doing whatever. And then in your day, when you list them down, you're like, holy shit, I actually am quite productive. I do a bunch if you start just like keeping tracking accountability of all that you do.
Yeah.
So you see, it's hard to be accountable. Um, 2024, man. I feel like this is a new thing that we're in a spot where like you have to be able to be accountable for yourself.
Oh yeah,
But
otherwise you're set for
oh
complete failure. I feel like 100%. And it's so easy to just get lost and just like what's current, what's popping. Like it's definitely a great word of advice. It's hard to follow sometimes, but don't worry what the fuck other people are doing. Worry about what you're doing. Don't measure your success to other people's success. If people have a hard time grasping this, most of the shit you see online is all just dudes jerking each other off. It's all falsified. It's fake bullshit. I mean, you see people try to fake success so much where it works for them. I mean, whether like people visually see it and they go, "Oh, dude, this guy's awesome." I think he's awesome because everyone else thinks he's awesome. But yeah, just like don't worry about that. Just worry about, I mean, yeah, try to stay in your own lane, worry about yourself more. But yeah, just definitely don't measure other people's success and try to connect it to yours. It's totally different. If people just want to be like an influencer, great. What success do they have? Nothing until they're able to reach some huge milestone. Then they'll maybe make fractions of pennies for little bullshit posts. If that's what they want, cool. But good luck for them, pal. I can't live that life.
I was watching an interview with Seth Rogen the other day, and he was saying how there's two kinds of people. There's people that quit and people that make it. And the common denominator in all the people that make it is that they didn't quit. It's really easy for you to do something. You can either quit or you can make it. But if unless you don't quit,
Mm.
you just never know if you can make it. And the people that do quit we'll never fucking find out.
You know,
So
how
it's
good
like
is that to know that we've been doing this for upwards to almost 4 years?
yeah, 4 years.
Ah! But if we fuck 2 years in struggled to hit a couple bumps and we're just like or maybe the misses, the family's not feeling that confidence that hey, this is something we should continue, cool, we'd wash our hands of it, we'd walk away. But you guarantee like 5-10 years down the road, if we saw some of our other buddies still continuing it and to see their their like milestones, their successes, we'd be like, man, motherfucker, maybe I could have.
I like living my life with no regrets, and I tell this to everybody. I rather regret doing something than regret missing out on it
Yeah.
every time. I'd
Like
rather
I always say, failure is not an option. If someone's just like, well, you know, what if you fail or whatever, it's just like, it's how I think of it in a fucked up way is it's not because it can't be. And that's insane. I should write like a book on this because I always say just like, I cannot fail because it's not possible. Basically what you came down to, unless you quit. I mean,
yeah.
I guess that would be the best way to sum that up. And it's like, you know, like back in the day with like Metallica. Metallica used to be really awesome. And then they got sober and then they quit and then they sucked. See, prime example. If they would have never quit, they would have still been awesome.
They just should have done Lulu, that album in 2008 with Lou Reed. That was terrible.
Oh, God. That's when they got sober, not condoning. Hey, if you got to do what you got to do, sober January. That's cool, dudes. But I'm just joking.
Dude, failures. My point in failures is that failure shouldn't be something you should fear. People are always so afraid of failing, and
Yep.
they get so afraid of it that they don't even try to do things. Because what if I fail? Motherfucker, what if you don't?
What if you look
And
stupid? Guess what? I look stupid every day.
dude, if you're not willing to look ridiculous and stupid and to just make an ass of yourself for your own dreams and your own goals, you're not living life right. Because
Isn't that
nobody else.
a sad thing that I don't know if you had that experience, but I definitely could look back and see like my childhood. I'd care way too fucking much
Oh
about what
god.
other people thought, but not like an appearance. Wait, maybe I don't know, but dude, I just didn't. I
Sam,
didn't have fun. Yeah.
I literally yesterday had a mild existential life crisis, thinking of just something that I said in like fourth grade, and thinking of the fact that like people will probably still remember it, and I just cringed so hard, and like I am like one of the most anxious people that I know. So yeah, I do always like think about stuff like that and just go like, oh, I'm very self-critical, and I've always thought about like, oh man, I did something stupid or whatever. But then again, I don't think that correlates at all. And I should go back to the whole like failure thing. Failing is good because failures are lessons.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just honestly learn from life, dude. Just do things, fail, and when you fail, write it down because
It makes
failing
you
is like
feel
failing
good. Like maybe you tried. I mean, like, cause yeah, if people don't try because they're trying, you know, they fear failure, then they're never going to succeed. Simple as that. You can't measure success without the also, you know, like the reverse, like a failure. I mean, every
like
success
look,
you make, it wasn't like 100% success. It's like, no, it's nothing certain. It could have went the other way, you know? So if you don't ever have that
know how
failure
to
aspect,
look
then
at
yeah,
it.
there's no success.
You should look at failures as a set of instructions
Mhm.
instead of like something, because it's just like, oh, I failed because I took this one way. Now you write to yourself, hey, and to the next person down that you want to help out, hey, don't take down this way because if you do, you're gonna fail here. Now this is just a warning. It's a piece of advice. It's something that has value rather than just being something you should fear.
We should be like personal or business coaches because I think people could listen to this and they'd like learn so much that they don't have to do because we already told them not to do it. Where were these people for us? Well, I guess we might have had some. Who knows?
I think yeah, there were some people that told me like, hey, do this or don't do this, or like if you're going to do this, be careful of this.
Yeah.
And I've listened to some of them and done the things that and avoided the things that they told me to avoid. But I have also been like, no, fuck you, I'm gonna try this, and still because like if it feels still right for me, I'm still gonna go do it because if even if it didn't work for you, it might work for me. However, there are situations where people do tell you things for a reason, and they'll be like, "Hey, don't do this," and you're like, "Nah, fuck you. You're old. I'm gonna do it anyway." And then you do it, and you're like, "Oh, you said it for a
Mhm.
reason," and they're like, "Yeah, dickhead." But yeah,
It's wild. Yeah, just like the idea of like don't be afraid of failure. It's kind of funny. Like it's like I'm out of the restaurant game, but I always kind of loop things back. It's funny because it's what I knew for a great deal of my life. But if anyone's just like, well, how do you get good in the restaurants or cooking? Give me tips or suggestions, and I'm just like, fuck up all the time. You learn from your mistakes so much quicker, and there's no better example than in a restaurant. You're like, oh, I'm scared about overcooking this steak. Cool, overcook the fuck out of it and
yeah,
you'll know what to do. Oh, I'm afraid of over seasoning. Cool. Over season the fuck out of it rather than ride that line of timid and caution.
yeah, no,
You'll never learn. Make mistakes all the goddamn time. Oh, I don't want to make a new hot sauce because what if it sucks? Make shitty hot sauce all the time. You will make better products.
yeah. You have to make the shitty ones to know what the good ones are.
Otherwise, imagine if like the first sauce you're making, like we've mentioned before, like you're just like, ooh, I don't know, maybe a little salt, ooh, maybe like a little black pepper, oh boy, how much jalapeno, oh man, it's like, dude, fucking chuck some shit in, take note of what you're doing. Maybe you'll be like, ooh, that was kind of gross, or that was kind of awesome. Then you can look back. I guess, yeah, another thing, if you're making recipes with anything, write shit down. I mean, it's funny how some people reach out and they try to. I'm not really a consultant, but I will help like companies I consult like with recipe development. And they're just like, well, I got this idea for a recipe. I'm like, well, no NDA necessary, but let me know what are you kind of working with. And their ratios are so fucked. It's like, well, I used 7 habaneros and a half a jug of vinegar and like a head of garlic. And I'm just like, all right, what is a head of garlic? What is a jug of vinegar? How much? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't just go based on those. Like, what is a jug? It's a jug a cup for you. It's a jug a gallon.
There's just some
Is a
people
head
that
of garlic
don't.
like 2 ounces? Is a head
Yeah,
of garlic 5 ounces? You get like gigantic garlic. Somebody gave me a recipe like that one of these days, and I was like, because somebody for the hot box. You're like, hey, we're trying to work on this recipe, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, like we can help you convert it and scale it and all that stuff, blah blah blah. And he's like, okay, here. We've been making the hot sauce for a while, and this and this and this. And I'm like, cool. This guy has a recipe. He comes with the recipe, and it was that. It was like a medium head of garlic, a medium this, and I was like, what? I was like, listen, dude, I'm gonna need you to like go by actual measurements of things because I don't want to start trying to figure out on my side what you consider medium or large or like whatever. I don't want no. This is
a
not
handful of brown sugar. Be like, well, what the fuck's a handful, man?
hands. I have big hands. I can't a handful. No,
Yep.
yeah, no. Or like
Measure shit. I don't care how comfortable or how good you are in any culinary space for working,
do
making
not trust
food.
that shit. Yep.
But if you're
Oh,
like,
have to have it over.
if you're doing condiments, tight recipes like this for scalability and to just make sure they are, from batch to batch, similar, they have that cohesiveness. You need proper measurements. I will always say liquid to the ounce
Yep.
or liter or milliliter, and then like anything weight to the fucking gram.
Mhm.
Um, know your ratios, like, oh, how many grams are in a pound? Okay, 453, whatever. And then if you're like, okay, well, you're at the store, oh man, I need to get so many tomatoes. It's not, all right, I need 7 tomatoes. It's like, no, how much weight do you fucking need?
Yep.
And then, yeah. And then, maybe account for waste.
You
That,
know, every gram counts, man. You know what
but
I
there's
mean?
another thing too. Like, I think I do see people like they don't account for waste, or those like, well, this recipe has 8 carrots grilled. Okay, cool, whatever. So are you peeling them first? Okay, so how much weight did you lose because you're
Mhm.
paying for that? You're using the whole fucking carrot, or you cutting off the end? Oh, okay, cool. Same with bell peppers. Maybe some people they just throw the whole stem in because they're lazy, or sometimes they're coring out the seeds because they don't need those. But then that's not one pepper to pepper. Yeah, it's weight, dude. That's why I guess in a perfect world, we like dealing with fresh produce. It'd be awesome if we could have fresh, usable produce in every way. Like, you know, tomatoes, whatever. It's like, cool. Maybe they're seeded, maybe they're skinned. Pound for pound, this is exactly what you need. But they don't work that way.
Nope. All right. So context are close in here. 2024. This is the first episode of the year. This goes live today. I'm gonna post this shit today. You're hearing this today. Today is January 3rd, 2024. Oh my god.
Are you posting this today, or we
No.
didn't we have something else we were gonna like round out
post it today? And then since the other ones are, and I'm saying this like here, the other ones have that like weird delay with the audio with the Instagram back thing. I might make
we did one without the Instagram one, right?
I think the one without the one for Billy. So that's just a spoiler right now, but I'm gonna work on that to make like a special extra episode. Because
we kept talking it's the end of the season, but hey, disregard all that. It's gonna be the beginning-ish of this season. Yeah,
whatever. We'll figure it out. We're trying to figure things out, like boys and girls and people and dudes and whatever. Goals, man. What do you wanna? Just they don't have to be like super serious. They don't have to like just. I don't know. Where is the South going? And like, what's the next thing that you want to do? Do you want to figure out that you're like, okay, like this is what I'm working towards right now?
Realistically, to be really kind to myself, it would be, I mean, you know, like we've discussed, be more accountable for my actions. I do want to remain relevant in the hot sauce space because there's going to be a lot of things going on. And there's so many new companies, which is awesome. I want people to support all these new companies, taste them. Maybe they're fucking awesome. Maybe they deserve all the attention. Maybe they don't, but that's up to you to decide. And there's only a way like Radhi and I or other makers can feel like a measured amount of success is when we have maybe valued customers have to step away and try other products. But then if they come back, that's what I really measure success to. And there's like valued customers. You'd hate to just keep people locked to your side. Like, no. You can't try any other products, just mine. But it's like, no, dude, fucking let it rip. But yeah, accountability, remain relevant in the space, but put out some new products. Not anything too crazy. I know I want to release 3 products, 3 hot sauces, minimally online. One is going to be a complete retweak of something old. One's going to be an ode to, you know, something new for a yearly release, and one to just really celebrate this year. So this year is just going to be a big year of celebration for me, and just to make sure that everyone can fucking see it, taste it, and experience that with me. What about you, buddy?
Now you just made me think like about the product release. I feel like 3 in a year sounds great. Every 4 months you release a new sauce, and like 4 months is plenty of time for you to like work on the recipe, kind of like come up with like naming, branding.
Yeah, do it well, not like, I want to make 10 sauces, because we totally could, but they're just not gonna be as special to me, I feel like, or you know what I mean? It's like you said,
be less time and attention to them.
Yeah, be kind to yourself. Don't be unrealistic, but like set goals. You're just like, oh yeah, I can totally fucking rock this out.
For me, the biggest goal is to be able to finish the goals from last year of trying to get more serious, and this goes back into actually holding yourself accountable. I want to get over the fear and shyness of reaching out to stores, and I want to stop expecting some stores to reach out to me, because again, if you don't ask, you'll never know. The worst thing that can happen is that they'll say no.
Yeah,
and then
but it's a very, I mean, you know me, I'm not cautious about that, but it's the time commitment of that stuff. It's not my strong suit. I'm a very personable person, so if I can meet with you, great. But like just doing the emails or the calls, I don't think that's the very difficult thing for me. It just the success rate is not that great with my skill set, I guess.
Well,
I'm just something to look at.
Big Willie style actually wants to do in person. That's his style. He just wants to go in like get in people's faces, because he used to do that. So he has connects of like previous tweeters and stuff, and he's like,
He's
I
a
want to
big
get
boy too. I'd be fucking intimidated. I'd buy something from him. That's for sure.
it's funny. We had a New Year's party, and like him and his wife came over, and we were talking about you and how the first time that you met him, I'm pretty sure that you asked me like, "Why'd you bring your bodyguard? Like, who is this guy that you have with you?"
Because he was just probably wearing this tight little shirt, just bursting at the seams like a hot dog you threw in the microwave too long, and he's just popping.
Will's got arms, dude. Will's a big dude, but
Big dude, tall as shit too.
He's a big boy. Um, he's strong. He takes his health and his working out very serious.
We'll
yeah,
get there someday.
we'll get there. But yeah, I'm again me being a lot. Believe it or not, I'm quite shy in person.
Mhm.
So I don't feel the motivation or like, and I guess I had to find it somewhere. But I'm a lot more cautious when it comes to like trying to sell something in person. So to a store, for example, I can't just go and be like, "Hey, buy my shit," or like try to buy my shit. It's more like, I will send you 4,500 emails though. I will find every fucking contact that I can and email them and be like, "Hey, I've been trying to reach you. Hey, 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 I want to sell you shit. Hey, 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 hey," and it works. That's how I got into like so many stores. But I think that I want to be able to just like lose the fear of hearing no. Because even as much as I preach it, as much as I can like say, yeah, what's the worst that can happen? They'll just say no, but you never know if you don't ask. I have to just push myself to actually do those things too, because I just fear rejection, I guess. Or like I fear feeling like I'm not doing anything if I don't hear anything back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, maybe I have to like sorry. I just get too into my head and I'm like, okay, like I'm not hearing back. This is not gonna work out. I have to like figure something out or whatever. Or like maybe I'll do this or like. And the thing is that I'm also this year the biggest goal is I want to do less in-person markets. I don't want to
Like
do
just like local or just events in general. Because I mean, last year for both of us, I mean, sorry to speak for yourself too, but I mean, we did a lot of shit. We did a lot of travel and we have a lot going on. You're a big family man. I'm going to be shit's fucking hard. And I just imagine it's only going to get more difficult.
believe it or not, those out of town trips are a lot less time consuming than the weekly local markets are, because I feel like those only happen every couple of months. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Ohio this month. I'm gonna go to like New Mexico in 2 months from now, and I'm gonna go to do this thing like a couple months from now. But I feel like the rush of like, hey, I have farmers markets Friday, Saturday, Sunday every week for 52 weeks. It just doesn't do it.
That's, dude,
It takes
for
a
your
lot.
winter markets, fucking crazy. That would be something where you hire other, I was going to say dickheads, but other great people. But you know what I mean? Like you do this for me because that's huge, dude. And like anyone else doing what we're doing, I mean, I guarantee they're not sitting there for like 53 fucking weeks straight or whatever it may be working. Like they're gonna be like, dude, you do this for me. Like I have other shit to do, because like you do have other shit to do.
Do you guys wait? So you mentioned snow. Do you have snow already? Well, you're Minnesota. I'm
Oh,
assuming you have snow.
we got a dusting on New Year's Day. Otherwise, we haven't had snow since Halloween, which is really, really weird right now. I mean, right now I think it's 29 degrees outside, which isn't out of the norm for this time, but to have like almost little to zero fucking snow now is crazy.
Dude, it's been in like the 40s to the 50s until the
Yeah.
end of December right now here, and you we are supposed to, yeah, it's not gonna be even like freezing at all until 2 weeks from now.
I mean, it's like I don't mind snow.
Dude,
I just always say if if it's cold out, then I want there to be snow. Otherwise, there's no reason for it to be cold,
Mm.
That's my thought. But no, dude. So yeah, 2024 accountability. You're
Year
saying
of
like
the dragon, baby. Accountability on the year of the
year
dragon.
of the fucking dragon, dude. I'll preach that to the end of the day. Big props to Scotty Too Hottie from Lucky Dog when he did the year of the dog. It's cool to like embrace that shit. It's like setting yourself up for the most failure realistically. I mean, if like the year of the dragon 2024, I don't do anything, or if I fall on my face, I'm gonna look like a fucking loser. Loser. But it's just like, dude, what the fuck's this guy been talking about? But then you have to define success yourself. I'm sure so many people out there that maybe we look up to probably look at us and envy us as like the success we have accomplished. But then again, we do the same to others. So it's like you have to measure success yourself. I mean, you can't follow, influencers and all that shit. I'm like, dude, look at all these paid views or follows or whatever. It's just like, don't worry about engagements. Don't worry about any of that shit. Like Roddy, like, do a little month evaluation. Look at those as like measures of success, like maybe not sales, maybe not like events or traction, but like things you've accomplished that you find success in, rather than it's hard to not translate everything to sales, money in a business where you sell stuff. Oh God, this month my sales were down. Okay. Does that mean you failed? No, not at all.
You can't follow stupid influencers, but you can follow us. Sam,
right?
Find you.
Because we're not stupid influencers. We don't know. No, like for real, like, yeah, like influencers, fuck them. But we're genuine. We're real as shit. We also want to know, who do you want on Spill the Sauce in 2024? Dude, there's been so many companies that reach out to us, but I want to hear from like fans of companies that say, hey, you need to get these people. That'd be awesome. That's going to be different for us. Like people, instead of shelling out their own shit, like I want to hear from the masses and be like, yo, dog, you got to get this company on because they're the shit because of XYZ, rather than, hey, can you have me on because I think I'm good?
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Anyway, Sam, tell the people where to find ye in the sauce.
Year of the Dragon 2024, Sam Hastings with Sam's House. Gonna kick some butt, buddy. samsauce.com, Sam's House on the Twitter X, the Instagram, and I believe it's like at Metal Chef 88 on Facebook. Facebook's like a grandpa thing, so everything I do on Instagram goes to Facebook. So if you have one, you don't need both. But yeah, literate big dog. What about you?
I don't even use Facebook for the business stuff. I've been trying to keep Facebook to post like photos of the kids because like my family's on there, because I'm not trying to do that on Instagram as much. I don't know, it's weird.
Do you have your like a business account on your Facebook that everything you post on Instagram goes there automatically?
Yeah, I do. And
yeah,
then, like,
it's great. Then you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, but it gets activity too. And like sometimes people comment on it and I don't see it for like 6 months and I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah,
it's weird. But anyway, you can find me at fire.co is the website, fire.co on Instagram, firehotsels.com, I hate johnmorgan.com, phillyhotsels.com, hotsmade-in-philly.com, the Hots Philadelphia Hots Festival.com, phillyhotselsfest.com.
You're gonna have a Philly hot sauce festival this year?